Nitro Kid 98 here today, guys. I'm going to be doing a short video showing a fix to a common problem that's been out there for years. I've looked on forums. I can probably go back to 2008 with this stuff, and maybe even before then, about fuel rails leaking. Mostly, a lot of people just dissing the OBX. What I actually have right here is a Venom. When I flip it around, you'll see that. But I do have an OBX, and they both mount up the same. And I have actually took a caliper and measured the inside injector hole ports on both of the fuel rails, and they're identical. Really, the OBX is just a good copy of this Venom that I have here. And I'm even using one OBX mount on this Venom, which you'll see when I turn it around. Now, one of the reasons that they leak, I'm going to show you why, and I'm going to show you the fix to it. And I actually had mine do that, but I had the hack job fix on it because I had been working on it the day before a drag race, and I kind of did what I thought would work for a while, and it did. And then the very last time we went out to test and tune, about 4 weeks ago, it wound up coming undone. I kind of forgot about it because it worked so well, and just forgot to go back and do it the right way. As you can see here, this is where the injector came loose from the fuel rail. You can see that right there. That's what happened because of my fix coming undone. I'm going to show you what my fix was. Alright guys, see here you can see it's the Venom high flow fuel rail. Now, first of all, before I even do this video, if you don't necessarily have to have a fuel rail, don't run one. The way these manifolds are really put together and everything, and all the factory equipment, you're not really going to see it anyway, so it's not even anything to add for style. Go in my YouTube videos and look up why to run a fuel rail. It's going to explain to you exactly why to run a fuel rail and the reasons not to run a fuel rail. The reason I did it made it easier for me to run a fuel cell. I'm no longer running a factory fuel system. Everything I got is aftermarket with AN lines and everything like that. Still braided, yeah. Well, nylon braided in mine. Now, this is why they leak. This is what causes the fuel rails to leak. As you can see right here, these are not the bolts that came on the car. This one has washers on it. And you're probably thinking, well, why is that like that? What have you done? This is what I've done. The thing that makes these leak is the mounting brackets here are too short. They don't go long enough to meet the factory mounting location on the intake manifold. As you can see right there, see how much distance that's going to take to get that mounting hole down to where it needs to be for a bolt to go through it? By the time you do that, you're going to put these injectors in such a bind on that fuel rail. You're going to cause nothing but problems, and it's not going to seal correctly. And honestly, it's probably going to damage your injector. I would really be surprised if somebody hasn't damaged their injector that way. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a bolt, go to Lowe's. It's a M8 by 1.25. Get a bolt, get some washers, and then use those washers as you tighten that bolt down to hold that fuel rail in place with a little bit of pressure. I ain't got it all done yet. I just started working on it here a little bit ago. Now, if you're sitting here, I know you're sitting here thinking, well, you know, you say you got the fix to it. Why is yours leaking at this point now? I'm going to explain that one too. What I actually originally had for this setup, I didn't have a lot of time to really fix everything. I was tired. Like I said, I had a race the next day, or at least a test and tune. I really wanted to see what this setup would do. Being over eager and over excited kind of got the best of me. So what I did is took the factory bolts, and they're not long enough to put washers on. And what I did is just took the head of it and caught the least, just a little bit of this mounting bracket, kind of like this setup looks right here, and pushed it down. But after time of vibrating, it wound up falling off of this one, and then allowing the fuel rail to pop off, because I think I was running around 45, 50 psi fuel pressure, and that's enough to just pop that fuel rail off like that. So one reason I want to do this video, I know a lot of people talk a lot of crap about OBX products, but not all of them are bad. I mean, this fuel rail is not a bad fuel rail. The one thing I don't like about it, I will say, is it's not an AN fitting on both sides. To where the Venom was. The Venom was very easy to hook up. I'm going to have both my fuel rails machined because I can't find a factory. I'd have to show you the piece I'm talking about that goes into the side of it. But a lot of the times what makes a part get such a bad name is being misused. But really, honestly, 90% of these street setups do not need an aftermarket fuel rail. They just don't. Like I say, the only reason I run one is it made it so much easier for my setup to do it this way. And yes, it does give it a nicer look, but I like this because of the way I wanted to run the return line, or the fuel line this way, and then the feed line that way, and then the return line from this one. It just made it a lot easier in my setup to do it that way. Yeah, I could have ran one line, but I still had to find the same piece I can't find for that one. And, excuse me. And that's just a headache. So that's how you make the fuel rails work on a 428, excuse me again. So anybody out there having problems with the OBX fuel rail leaking, you may not necessarily need the fuel rail on your setup, but just absolutely have to have it. Right here's the video on how to make it work. Nitro Kid 98. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe.